Nehemiah was a Jew, one of God's people. God's people had lived in Babylon for many years until King Cyrus, the king of Persia, took over Babylon and let them go home. Some of God's people went home to Judah, but some of them stayed in Babylon. Nehemiah stayed and worked for the king of Persia. One day, some men came from Judah. Nehemiah asked, "How are God's people doing in Jerusalem?" The men had bad news. The people are in trouble. The walls around Jerusalem are broken down, and the gates have been burned down. Nehemiah sat down and cried. Then he prayed and fasted for several days. "Yahweh, God," he prayed, "we have sinned against you. Please remember your words to Moses. If you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the peoples. But if you return to me and obey me, I will gather you from the ends of the earth and bring you to the place I have chosen." Nehemiah went back to serving the king, but he was still sad. The king noticed Nehemiah's mood and asked him, "What's wrong? Why are you sad?" Nehemiah was afraid. No one was supposed to be sad around the king. Nehemiah told the king, "The city where my ancestors are from is in trouble. It is in ruins, and the gates of the city have been burned down." "What do you want to do?" the king asked. Nehemiah prayed. Then he said, "Please send me to Jerusalem so I can rebuild the city." The king agreed. He gave Nehemiah letters to keep him safe as he traveled. If anyone tried to stop him, Nehemiah could show that he had the king's permission to go to Jerusalem. The king also made sure Nehemiah had wood to help rebuild the city gates and wall. He even sent some men from his army to protect Nehemiah. Nehemiah arrived safely in Jerusalem. After 3 days, Nehemiah got up in the middle of the night and went to look at the city's walls. Then he told the people there, "We are in trouble. The city is ruined and the gates have been burned down. Come, let's rebuild Jerusalem's wall." Nehemiah told the people how God had helped him, and he told them everything the king said and done. The people said, "Let's start building." And so they did. Nehemiah trusted that God would keep his promise to protect his people and give them a home. When we trust in Jesus, we believe God will keep his promise to give us, his people, a home. Jesus obeyed God perfectly. He died on the cross and rose again so we can have a home with him forever.